We had a great night with me and you and and Steve was there and Jen. You were teaching them how to smoke a cigar, Robert.
Oh, God, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's everybody today? Welcome to the official Peacemaker podcast with James Gunn. That's the title. I have to say my own name in the title. I didn't ask for that. I don't know why it's called that, but that's what it's called. I am here with my disarming and sexy co-hosts, Steve Agee and Jennifer Holland.
Thank you. Hello.
Who are you?
Steve Agee.
I just didn't know.
And I play John Economos on Peacemaker.
That's right. And I'm Jen Holland. I play Emilia Harcourt.
And this is where we get to go behind the scenes. We get to determine what's canon, what's in the DCEU, what's in the DCU, what's both. We're going to answer fan questions, discuss the music, and so much more.
In this episode, we are diving into Season 1, Episode 3, titled Better Goff Dead. That's Goff. Directed by James Gunn. We are joined today by our additionally sexy Lars Winther.
Lars, you are
one of the producers and the first AD on 5 of the 8 episodes, or maybe 6 of the 8.
Yeah,
I can't even remember.
Of the first season,
Yeah, for season 1, yes.
The important thing to know is that we could not have made this show without him, much like anything that he's a part of. And we are also joined today by the very charming and handsome Robert Patrick, who plays Auggie Smith.
Thank you very much. It's good to be back.
And reminder, we are talking spoilers galore, so if you have not watched this episode or any of the episodes, you can go to HBO Max right now and get caught up.
Let's give a little background on Lars. Lars, my relationship with Lars started on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. He was my first assistant director on that movie. Lars comes up with the schedules for our movies and our shows. He decides what days we're shooting what, and he continued to be my first AD for a while. And one of the things I noticed that as I was making movies, my real producer was actually Lars. He was the one that was producing my films, and other producers on those films may not even show up ever to set. And what I wanted to do when we started DC Studios was to prop up the writer, to make the importance of the writer larger, and also to prop up the role of the producer. I think there are 2 major things in the film industry that have hurt films over the past 20 years. The first thing is that we greenlight scripts before they're ready. And then the other thing is kind of the loss of the power of the producer. And this is weird coming from someone who's a director, but directors have a lot of power. I like the fact that directors have a lot of power. That's largely a good thing, but oftentimes producers have just ceased to exist on set. It's interesting stuff, and I think it's interesting stuff for people at home to know exactly how movies work and who's in charge, who really makes it happen. And that for me goes out to the first ADs. I'm trying my best to, really bring good producing back. And so Peter and I brought Lars into DC Studios.
My official title is Senior Vice President of Physical Production.
Right.
For DC.
Right. You're in charge of production.
Correct, yeah. I mean, sometimes I elaborate my title. It just depends who's around, but yeah.
You just really get things made and focus on how to make stuff.
Yeah, you guys deliver the scripts, and then we figure, on my end, I figure out where we're going to go, how much it's going to cost within reason, and then plan, hire, run the show.
What happened at the end of last episode? We saw Peacemaker finding this spaceship. We saw the terrible white supremacist Auggie Smith in prison. We start with a kind of a unique episode where there is a little tiny, it's a story in this episode where Myrn briefs the team and he tells them that the target is Senator Royland Goff, who is a suspected butterfly. We still don't know what a butterfly is, and that Peacemaker might have to kill him and also might have to take out his wife and his 2 children, who are also suspected butterflies. Now, Peacemaker is upset by this, as you would imagine. But then again, this is a guy who's said all during Suicide Squad, during this TV show, that he believes in peace at any cost.
I thought you loved peace with all your heart, no matter how many men, women, and children you needed to kill to get it.
Yes, I said that. I say that, and I mean it. It's like that's the vow I took, but kids?
And you realize the guy is not really actually comfortable killing children because he's such an overly sensitive guy.
Yeah.
Before you move on, I realized it starts with us walking out of the HQ, and you see in the last episode the establishing shot of our HQ, which is called Henenlotter Video.
Yeah, which is named after Frank Henenlotter, who was the director of Basket Case and other fine low-budget films. I'm a big fan of his. In my first directorial debut, Slither, was named Henenlotter's bar. They go to the ranch to set up, and Peacemaker is upset because he doesn't have the Dove of Peace on the rifle. Then we have the scene with you being Steve Agee, John Economos, and Myrn. We're Myrn.
Setting up surveillance cameras.
Setting up surveillance cameras.
Yeah.
Myrn is, we learn, even weirder than we think he is, because you asked him about all the hardcore shit. You've heard the rumors of him being a not great guy.
Yep.
And you ask him about this, and he responds.
Things I've done make me sad.
He's like, that's a big deal.
It's a big deal
Shared
because I
something
just
big with you.
shared a feeling with you. I've never done that before.
That's right. And I'm like, you've never shared feelings
At all.
at all.
And you says, no. And you're like,
You've never even said you were cold, chilly.
chilly? And he says,
says
"Is chili
a feeling?" And he goes,
I think so.
and he goes, nope. And
He's
then he-
weird. His
yeah,
character is weird.
And we realize Myrn is as off, who seemed kind of up until this point like he might be the most normal of the bunch, is off as any of you. Then we have the scene where the stakeout begins, the family drives up, you guys have a conversation about Berenstain Bears, whether they're Berenstain or Berenstein. I myself was raised thinking they were the Berenstein Bears.
I didn't know until I read your script that it was Berenstain.
It is Berenstain. I've always said the wrong thing, you know.
We all did. I know I did.
Yeah, yeah. And so we meet an important character for the first time, which is Nutley as Judo Master, who is the nicest guy in the world, a sweet guy, and just instantly comes off like a dick. Somehow the guy walks 3 feet and he comes off like he's able to
So much
emanate
attitude.
and being such a little asshole.
Yeah.
Did they improvise that little beat there where he asks him for some Cheetos?
The actor who played the bodyguard, Sage Brocklebank, I believe, was really an amazing actor and great in the episode. I think I told him, ask him for some Cheetos or something, and then Judo Master says no. And I think I told them to say that.
No, but he really embodied that character. He brought something to it.
He did.
He really did.
He
took it to a whole nother level.
You just always had him with a bag of Cheetos in his hand.
Yeah, he was just, I think he was just always eating Flamin' Cheetos, but I'm not sure if he was, but honestly, I'm not sure if he was, in that episode, he was definitely eating Flaming Cheetos, and then he was going to throw them at Peacemaker, you know, and it's not a big spoiler, but throughout, you'll see Judo Master's always eating Flaming Cheetos.
Always.
He's
It's
always
like,
got
you know,
them.
Humphrey Bogart and his cigarette, you know, he's got his Flaming Cheetos with him always.
And such attitude when he was flicking it at him.
And flicks him, yeah. So they don't make the shot. He can't kill the guy, and so they decide to stay the night. And then I think we have a really important scene here that leads throughout the 2 seasons between Harcourt and Peacemaker, where they talk about their past. Well,
Yeah.
their past.
The way that I see this moment is that, you know, they're connecting in a certain way on their childhood. She says, you know, her response to him is dads. When you know, he asks her, how'd you get into this line of work? And she's like, deflects, how'd you get into this line of work? He says, I guess my father. And then she says, dads. And you kind of get this feeling like that there's some history there. What's
You have
that about? You know?
Emilia Harcourt definitely has a complicated, you know, relationship with whomever her father is.
Yeah, that's right. And so they start talking about that and how she was given her first gun at the age of 12 and yada yada. And I think through this experience, Harcourt realizes that this guy that she hates so much, like maybe they're not so different. In some ways, I think that scares her a little bit. And then she also notices his humanity in that moment.
Yeah, you see that moment where she looks at him and he is talking about killing the kids and he just becomes so uncomfortable. And she thinks he's a piece of shit and she sees him struggling in that moment. And you can see that she understands that maybe she hasn't been seeing him 100% the way he deserves to be seen. And she almost says something. And then instead of saying something, she gets up to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
She stops
she
herself.
totally stuffs it down.
So the family eventually shows up in the kitchen, the Goff family, and becomes clear that they are butterflies because they have these protuberances come out of their mouths and they start sucking up this yellow
Gelatin,
goo.
Yeah.
And Myrn tells Peacemaker to kill them, and Peacemaker can't do it. And Myrn is upset. He says, Waller sent me a killer who can't kill. And then Vigilante, who has shown up, out of nowhere, like the freak he is, in a moment I really like, gently puts his hand on Peacemaker's shoulder and says, hey, buddy, let me do that. It's such a loving act. Peacemaker stumbles aside, and Vigilante takes a gun and begins to hum as he kills a wife, who, incidentally, Mrs. Goff is played by Natalia Safran, Peter Safran's wife, the co-head of DC Studios.
You get to see how skilled Vigilante is, too, because, you always just see him as this crazy guy.
Yeah.
And then you realize, like, oh, this guy's, like,
He's
a
an
cold-blooded
assassin.
killer.
And he's good at what he does.
Yeah, he's really good.
And that's the other, you're right.
Yeah.
You never really see him, do anything. We don't realize that he has any proficiency in anything at all. We
It's all
just think of
talk.
him as this crazy guy.
I'm really disappointed in my son.
And your son, because he couldn't kill.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's up?
I bet you would be. Why can't he kill those
do it.
children?
Just do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Aliens.
Not my son.
Illegal aliens.
The wrong son died.
Oh, man.
He's still in character.
Wow,
guys.
he's always in character.
So
He's always.
He's still in character.
What do you call
His
him?
wife Barbara calls me up sometimes, and she says he's just muttering, stumbling around the kitchen, muttering the wrong son died. So
Oh, God.
at that point, Judo Master shows up. We got a great fight scene. He knocks out Harcourt. He beats the shit out of both Peacemaker and Vigilante, and they're taken hostage. Harcourt stumbles awake. I think it's important to note that on this day, this was the coldest day
Oh, it was.
that we shot. This was like in the 0 degree.
Right.
range.
So the ground is wet because we're in Vancouver. The ground is always wet, I guess. It just never dries. It's like if you're on the ground, which I had to be, and also later in the episode, is crawling with, bare arms.
Yeah,
He's
that's
crawling
right. Oh
through
my
this
God.
frozen grass. It was a very, very cold day. Vancouver is lovely, but the winter's not.
Yeah, and so we see this moment.
Not those days, yeah.
We see this moment where the bodyguard comes up and is pleading with Adebayo not to shoot him, and Harcourt is saying, Adebayo, just do it. He's seen our faces. You have to do it. And Adebayo can't do it. And Harcourt, this is like, we learn a lot about her here, is that she picks up a gun and shoots the guy in the side of the head. She kills a man that could very easily be a totally innocent person.
Without question, because
how
it
do you-
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's innocent. They are on a mission, and so
Saving the world, in a mission that they think is saving the world.
Absolutely. This is Harcourt in some ways giving her a chance to prove that she is cut out for this job, and she doesn't. She fails. And
She fails
Harcourt
pretty
is
miserably.
is really disappointed in her.
Yeah.
I've never killed anyone.
Well, your streak's still going.
Make sure he's clean. Myrn will want a sample if he's not.
Okay, and so Harcourt, Adebayo, and Myrn go off to save Peacemaker and Vigilante because they've disappeared. And then we get into a section that's one of our favorite sections in the series, actually. But it's with, well, first it starts with Judo Master and Peacemaker, and their sort of fucked up, almost flirtatious conversation.
Fuck you.
You remind me of a shit I took last night, only Asian.
Oh, big man.
Hey, nice costume, bro. All tight. I can count the veins in your dick.
Big swole man. So tough.
Just
Well,
roasting each other.
Roasting each other. Oh, big man, so tough. But also, I have to say, one of the times on set when we had the biggest giggle fit.
Oh,
ever.
100%. Oh, the entire crew, but you especially.
Especially me and Cena.
What happened
Cena
when you lose it?
What? I could not stop laughing.
Like, you were giving notes, and you're like, "Here's the dog."
Yeah. I couldn't stop laughing long enough to have it on the microphone. I thought of the fact that that Wookiee. I still think it's funny that Wookiees have teeth in their assholes, and it's canon. I don't know why. He's like, don't fuck Chewbacca because the Wookiees have teeth in their assholes. That's canon. And so, I went in to whisper that to John, and then John couldn't stop laughing.
He was really tied up. Like his arms
Yeah,
are
he couldn't
tied
get
up
out.
behind him. He couldn't get out, and he was laughing so hard that he was crying. So he was like, they were going to start rolling again. And he's like, wait, I have tears rolling down my face. Anybody want to?
Yeah, he had to come in and wipe the tears away because he was laughing so hard. He was crying. and Nuh was laughing so hard. And then we go through the unveiling of Freddy, which is, so where we reveal Vigilante as Adrian Chase, the busboy we saw in the first episode. And the way he thinks he's not going to be recognized is if he continually makes faces. And when you're watching him doing it, it is logical. Like, if you only saw him making those faces, you wouldn't know it was
You'd have a hard time describing him to a sketch artist.
Sketch artist.
Yes, you would. Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
And so, this was one of the... So this is... I guess this is important because I think this is the first scene that we had to reshoot. We shot it twice. We shot it once with our original actor, and then we shot the whole sequence from the unmasking forward again with Freddy. Yep. And so some of the takes on John are from that time, and some of the takes on John are from the first time, In
fact, I think the last day of shooting, the whole show was Freddy's coverage.
Yes.
That scene?
Yeah, our last day of shooting on Peacemaker. Because we had to put that cave set back together.
And that's right. We didn't have the cave set. This was one of the big expenses when we made that decision to recast. So that was a big deal, but that was great stuff. We go through that. Harcourt, Adebayo, and Myrn move in to save them. Judo Master moves out, and that's when Myrn goes to explode the doorway. Adebayo licks the thing, which is not really just
hilarious.
Adhesive.
So next, Vigilante is tortured by Goff. He has electrodes attached to his penis or his scrotum. I'm not sure which, and then that's Goff's way of trying to get Peacemaker to give up information. And Peacemaker is being very hard-ass and refusing to give any information because he's just not going to give in.
He's saying, yeah, you do it. I can take it. And it's like, yeah, of course you can take it, man. He's torturing that guy.
He's not taking anything.
He's torturing, you're not taking anything.
A guy he doesn't even know his name.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but he's just showing he's not going to kowtow to pressure. He'll take anything he dishes out. He doesn't care. Give him more. Bring him more.
Bring him more of that guy's torture.
Well, Goff explains that he thinks that humans are,
too empathetic.
Creatures of empathy.
Little does he know he's dealing with Chris Smith.
The least empathetic.
The non evolved version of Chris Smith from season 1.
Yeah, but I think in defense of Chris,
yes,
if he was being tortured, he would not give up the information.
Okay. Well,
he wouldn't give up the information.
Lies in the face.
He wouldn't do it. I mean, He really honestly would not give up the information. So he's just, so from his point of view, Vigilante and he are, like this, and they're just not going to give up, and they're in this together. He wouldn't give up.
Despite Vigilante going, you can give him a little bit.
Well, Vigilante has no morals.
No.
I mean, he doesn't care. He doesn't even know what he's sticking up for. He doesn't know what any of this is.
He literally doesn't know why he's down there. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
He doesn't know anything that's going on.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And then we have another good fight scene, and I really like this fight scene a lot. It's fun. Another great gag where the guy hits the end of the table that looks so painful.
Oh, that was awesome.
Good
Yeah,
fight.
That was awesome.
And Peacemaker utters his famous line, "Peace out, motherfucker," and he blows off Goff's face. Seems like they're safe. Myrn and the gang who have exploded the doorway upstairs, and Myrn has miraculously survived being exploded.
A big explosion.
And as they're about to come downstairs, we reveal what Project Butterfly is about. We see a butterfly-like alien creature created by the fine folks at Weta, crawling out of Goff's skull and flying up in front of them. And at this point, Peacemaker knows what the butterflies are. And we go into a shot pushing in on a monitor where we reveals that there are butterflies all over the world, which you said earlier when we were watching.
Yeah, probably the most takes we did on the show.
Was of that monitor.
Of that shot. You would think it would be like, yeah, 2 takes were good. I think it was like 30 to 40 takes. Anyways.
And I also remember it was very late at night.
It was
at the end
very
of the
much,
day,
yeah.
and it was like, oh, we just have this one insert shot to get rid of. I'm
Yeah.
really tired. I want to go home. And we could not get the shot right. And I can't remember how much was the push-in, how much was the focus, how much was me being, picky. But it was.
I think it was the other 2. Yeah.
It was the other 2. Yeah. I'm not picky.
But we got to know the song really
You're pretty
well.
picky.
Because we heard it about 40 times.
You think I'm picky? I think one of the strengths of Peacemaker is actually every once in a while I stop and I go, you know what? It's TV. And we have fun and we let things go, and it's okay to make mistakes. Like, everything doesn't need to be perfect. Things get so uptight on a movie set
Yes,
about every
that's
little
true.
thing. And I'm okay if not every little thing is perfect on this show. There's something about it that's more rock and roll, more fun. It fits the music. It fits the,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'd agree, because that when we went and shot that, we hadn't done TV before, and that was what I liked about it. It was more loose and freer.
Right.
And like you said, you could just that part wasn't good. Who cares? We got that part. It's just more, and the actors have more freedom and
to say,
exactly,
you have more freedom because, like in a movie, and this is like the great joy.
35 times as big.
It's 35 times as big, but yet the scenes, every scene has to lead directly to the next scene. You don't have any extra space. There's no place to play. Really, the plot is the master of the movie for a big movie, right? The plot's the master. For TV, it's the character. The character's the master. And that's why a lot of people have more fun doing TV, because it's all about the characters. So if the characters want to talk more in the scene, they can, because you fall in love with these characters, you get to know them, and they're what drive the story forward, is your love of the characters.
You have more freedom to say, well, if we didn't fully tell that little piece here, then maybe it'll continue to be told over the course of the season or whatever. You don't have to worry so much about the importance of every single moment.
Yeah, and Peacemaker is particularly loose and fun because Peacemaker is the most like the Asian cinema that I grew up loving, whether it's, the Hong Kong movies or Japanese movies or Korean movies, Bollywood movies, where there's no one genre. It can be anything. It can be funny and then go straight to drama and then go to a musical act.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The scene where I beat Judo Master with a tire iron,
Great
which we
scene.
skipped over, and I'm fine.
No, we're going to go. I was going to get into that because that was another really cold night.
You were really.
It was the same night, right?
Yeah, and you had, it was even later in the night. It was the coldest part of the night, and you had an asthma.
I had worst asthma attack of my life because of the cold. But also, in my head, I remember it was snowing,
Oh, there was a little bit of that had
was-
snow.
Did you
a little
guys
bit, yeah.
digitally remove snow?
No, you just can't really. It was
Nah,
not
that didn't
enough to be
stick, yeah.
seen.
It was like frost we got rid of. No, we were taking heaters at some point and trying to heat the
to
ground.
melt the
Melt the ground.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
Yeah.
you wouldn't. I think you would be surprised about how many times we actually shot through the rain in this whole season, and
amazing.
You don't
didn't
see it.
digitally remove it. You just don't really see it.
You just learn to shoot in the rain, you know. Yeah.
I'm going to bring up a couple little things here before we go on to our final stage of this wonderful podcast, in which I am very grateful to you, Robert, and you, Lars, for being here.
Yeah.
The kids. That kid doesn't really look like that. So
That's right.
Come on, man. Look how adorable that one is. The other one, not so much. It's got like a Children of the Corn vibe going on.
I didn't want to cast an ugly kid that I made fun of, so I cast a very cute kid that we turned into a funny-looking kid with prosthetics. That little girl had to have a lot of shit in her face.
Yeah.
I think one of the things I get people bring up to me a lot, Fred Raskin, who's edited most of my movies and most of my TV shows even, said the only thing that he got squeamish ever cutting, and this is like after him cutting lots of all the gore, say, in the Suicide Squad and stuff like that, the only thing that made him squeamish was that shot of the toe being cut up. And the truth is, it is only a toe with blood poured on it and then the thing against it, the shears. There's nothing, no gore.
cuts.
No cuts, no gore. It's just a bloody toe.
Well, it's also knowing that the clippers are rusty.
Yeah.
And that's also like
The knowledge of it. I know.
It's awful.
It's not a clean cut.
Why don't you maintain your torture shit? Jesus fucking Christ!
In the first season, everything is a bit more handheld, and in the second season, we use these rigs more often, which you use a lot in your films.
Yeah, like I wish I was able to shoot the Judo Master action scene with the nanos, because those things work really well with action and being able to move swiftly around and into action, and they're just much more fluid than handheld.
The nanos being what you shoot like Superman on.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's a little rig that can move like this, and it gives you sort of the feel of handheld, but at the same time gives you great fluidity in what you're able to do. And can get very intimate with someone, move back quickly. It's kind of a combination of handheld and a dolly and Steadicam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's a mix. But there are interesting things about the show being mostly handheld camera this season.
Well, and there was a little learning curve at the beginning, and we had hired the cinematographer. I told them, like, no dollies will ever come out. And I think they were like, yeah, okay, sure. And when the operator first came in, I told him, and he was like, yeah. On day one, first shot, I walk in, and there's this beautiful dolly laid out. And I was like, you guys need to get rid of that right away. Like, you don't understand. We'll show James, he's going to love it. And you walk in, first thing you're like, what the fuck's this dolly track doing in here? And that happened maybe 2-3 times that week.
It happened a couple times. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me with the dolly tracks again?
And I go to those guys, I told you, and every now and then, they would try to pitch it every now and then.
Yeah.
And every time we'd be like, guys, it's never going to happen. And we just got rid of that stuff. But then they eventually conformed to the style. But it took a while.
Yeah. And by the way, it's not like I never use dollies. I use them occasionally.
Yes.
Yeah. I use them in episode 1 of season 2. You probably did it 3 times in Superman. I use them.
Yeah,
I use them
every now and then.
occasionally.
But it makes
But it's
sense.
very specific,
Yeah.
and it's not always. And especially on something like Peacemaker, where we don't want to make it look like it's a bunch of shots. And basically, there is a sort of method to our madness in that the stuff with all the humans is pretty handheld and grounded feeling. But like the montages and that is a different story. We'll do more elaborate shots because there is this, sort of mix of the grounded world and the magical world.
And the camera, a lot of times the camera moves with the music,
Yeah.
A lot of that.
Should we talk about the song Spotlight for the week? What's your favorite song from this episode?
Mine's Could You Love a Creature Like Me, I
Could
guess?
You Love a Creature by Me by Sister? Yeah.
I just love that. I love that little sequence, but that's just because I'm so connected to the character of Harcourt and the relationship of Harcourt and Peacemaker.
What about you?
I love the the song at the montage at the end where I'm dancing over.
6-6.
Judas.
Oh, the end. Oh, Push Push Lady Lightning.
Great song.
I love Push Push Lady Lightning by Band Camaro. That's a fantastic song. I love the Bandmate song, and Bandmate is one of my 5 favorite bands in the whole world. It's a band of Japanese heavy metal performers, all females, and they dress in maid uniforms, and they're out of Japan. And no shit, they are the best metal band in the world. They're amazing.
You talked about them before.
Oh, I talk about them all the time. Are you kidding? I'm a huge super fan of Bandmate. But I think we should probably talk about 6 Feet Under by Kiss and Dynamite. It's a hard rock heavy metal band from Germany. This is off their Money, Sex, and Power album. That whole album is great, but they really are one of the best bands featured in the Peacemaker, 2 seasons.
Should we cover canon?
What?
What's canon?
What's canon? What would you have a question about? Whether it's canon or not?
We're Doll Man.
Doll Man.
I think.
Is Doll Man canon? Guess what? I'm gonna say Doll Man's canon. Let's make him canon.
Okay.
Homunculi.
For the sake of conversation, why Doll Man
Right.
and not Batmite?
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's why. Because it's easy to say
Really?
Doll Man's canon. It's because he's just a little fella who's got, he's a homunculi, small person. Doll Man it's easy to say Doll Man is one of many, metahumans that have been in the world. Batmite brings in a whole other element. He's a magical imp from another dimension who is in love with Batman, and I don't know, it might be a little too ridiculous.
But there's a possibility he becomes canon.
There's a possibility he becomes canon. What if we want to have Batmite appear someday and it becomes a big deal and you have Batman walk into the room, there's Batmite, he's like, oh my God, what's this? And Batmite's like, I'm a Batmite.
And a huge
You
fan.
lose that wonderful moment.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of yours. I stand you.
Can play Batmite?
Oh my goodness. You can't play every small person of small stature.
What's that? I shouldn't have said that.
No, you can say that. We know
So-
that
Didn't mean to insult.
petite.
I know Peacemaker says it in the show, but are Wookiee asshole teeth really canon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say that on behalf of Disney and Star Wars, that all Wookiees do, in fact, have teeth in their assholes, and that is definitely canon. I think that's why I was laughing so hard
Anal
when John Cena said it was canon because...
Anal dentata.
Yeah, anal dentata, yeah.
Butt babies.
Butt babies.
Canon.
A butt baby.
Yeah, my older brother told me there's 2 types of babies. One that comes out of a woman's vagina, normal, and then butt babies.
I'm not sure if I've ever talked publicly about who this is, but it's a famous actor. I haven't seen her forever, but she's now very famous. And we knew each other when I first moved to town. And she told her brother that he was a butt baby and that good kids come out of the vagina and bad kids come out, like more dumb kids like her brother come out of the asshole. That's awesome. And he believed until he was like 8 or 9 years old that he was a butt baby because she told him that.
8 or 9.
That's awesome.
Is it that much worse than like being made to believe until you're 8 years old that
Tooth fairies.
Yes, because the tooth fairy has nothing to do with you being a worse kind of person than the other half of the population. It's much worse.
That's true.
Did your kids believed in Santa Claus?
Yes.
Did your kids believe in Santa Claus?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I'm into that. I'm into that lie. That's a good lie.
That is a good lie.
I agree. It's fun.
Good lie.
First of all, you're tricking children. That's fun. And then secondly, you're making them look stupid.
As I'm in the garage.
Yeah.
putting the bicycle
Put it together.
Putting the bicycle together.
Fucking Santa. You really did it this year. My wife's asleep. I'm still out there. It's 5 a.m. God damn it.
I know, and it's something so sweet about it, though, because it's like the way the parents get none of the glory for the presents whatsoever,
Okay, Eagly Airmail from Crimson 33. Which character from Peacemaker changed the most from the original script to the final version on screen?
Maybe Judo Master. I mean, just
I don't think your
Interesting.
characters change a lot.
I will say that you had a very specific actor in mind to play Myrn, and that didn't work out.
Oh.
And so you really had to search for someone who would bring something, because this particular actor you had in mind, like, has a really specific thing that they do.
Yeah, Lance Reddick was originally going to play Myrn. He's passed away, sadly. He was a great actor and a great guy, and
Lance
we
is great,
really liked him.
That's so sad.
And it was because of dates, and so we started searching for somebody else, and then Chuck came in. So I will say that probably that or Judo Master, because none definitely brings so much of his own personality to Judo Master.
At Guy Named Ace, which characters were the most fun to conceptualize and write about?
I really like writing all the characters. But you know, Vigilante is especially funny to write because he's so.
I will say, I live in the same house as James, and what it sounds like when he's in his office writing Peacemaker is.
Yeah, I want to know.
That's amazing.
Like, he's just in there laughing the whole time. It's amazing.
It's awesome.
Probably like after you beat up Judo Master.
Yeah.
You know, you're just making those sounds.
I mean, I like, you know, it's there are times when I'm writing, especially this, you know, Peacemaker, there's something about it. I really am writing it quickly. And so there is something about like writing when I feel like my writing is going the most well. It's like I'm not writing, I'm just a journalist to the imagination. Does that make sense at all?
Wow, that's a cool analogy.
You know, it's like I'm just like, it's just kind of running past me and I'm writing it down as quickly as it can. And sometimes it's more inspired than other times, but that's really what's happening inside of me. So I don't feel like I'm laughing at what I'm writing. I feel like I'm laughing at what I'm seeing projected by God inside my brain.
Yeah, like
so
you're
cool.
watching the characters do it as,
Yeah.
Because I asked you that this season. I asked you that. I said, what's your process for writing? You said, man, I just get in there and write it.
Yeah.
I don't have like a ritual I go through to do it.
I think that rituals and shit like that, for me, that's a bunch of malarkey to get you caught up on yourself and I am so incredibly superstitious about so many things. I don't need to be that way about my writing. I just go in there and I do it. And if I'm writing and it's shitty, to me, it's not that that's not writer's block. That's just, I'm in a shitty mood. And so what do you do to get through that is you just keep writing. And you write more shitty stuff until you start writing good stuff. It's like, you know, when you're digging for, you know, copper. Do you dig for copper? Is that how you get it? You know, when you're digging for anything, you're digging, you got to get through the dirt, you got to get through the shit, you get through all the stuff that doesn't matter, and then all of a sudden you're down there at the gold or whatever is there, you know.
The strike of copper.
The strike of copper, yeah.
Butte, Montana.
When the copper starts spraying up into the air. That's not what happens, Robert.
You pick it out, it comes out.
All right, final question. At GPC Wall 2001 writes, for James Gunn, what inspired you to do the dance number for the opening credits?
When I did the movie Super, I think that Peacemaker is sort of the descendant of Super. There's a lot of similarities in Peacemaker. I'm kind of being able to do what I wanted to do with Super in a bigger way. Like every episode cost numerous times what the whole film cost of that movie because that was a $2 million movie. Wow. But I did an animated opening sequence with the dance, and so I think really, you know, doing Peacemaker was doing the live action version of that, and I knew how much people loved the opening credits of that movie. So my inspiration was up myself. I realize that's my answer.
You just didn't want people to skip through credits.
I did not want people to skip through the credits. I wanted people to see all the hardworking people that work on this show, from the actors
to the actors,
directors, Mostly the actors and the directors and the writer. No, but all the hardworking people on the show really
Nailed it.
It's important to me that people see their names. And by the way, here's one more thing to say: people should stick through the end credits of every episode of Peacemaker. The reason being that we have post-credit scenes on every episode. And that is there so that people can listen to the great song that's playing at the end and also see all the, wonderful people that worked on the show.
Peacemaker doesn't come with a skip intro button.
Yes.
It
does.
Does?
Yeah,
Yes,
I tried.
But you ignore it because you're like, why would I do
Why
that?
would I skip it?
I tried to get them to take it off, and they wouldn't do it.
Didn't need to.
No, but really, thank you, Lars, for
Thanks for
joining
having me.
us
This is
on
awesome. Appreciate it.
episode. Thank you for staying for another episode,
Yeah.
Robert.
Thank you for having me.
was
Loved it.
So wonderful to have you. It's always so nice to see you and hang out with you. It's just been feeling like a nice hang session with some friends. And that's it for this episode. In the next episode, we'll be talking about season 1, episode 4. Stream Peacemaker on HBO Max to watch along with us. Joining us in the studio for that episode will be the infamous Freddie Stroma, a.k.a. Adrian Chase, a.k.a. Vigilante. New episodes of this season 1 Rewatch podcast drop Mondays and Thursdays. You can catch our podcast on HBO Max, on the HBO Max YouTube channel, and wherever you get your podcasts. This has been a DC Studios Showcase presentation.
Peace out, motherfuckers.
Peace out.
All right.
Peace out.
This was an OBB sound production for HBO Max and DC Studios, hosted by James Gunn, with co-hosts Jennifer Holland and me, Steve Agee. Executive producers for DC Studios are Phil Sopanides and Gary Barbosa. Executive producer for HBO Max is Becky Rowe. Executive producers for OBB are Michael D. Ratner, Scott Ratner, and Toby Lawless. Special thanks to, from DC, Mike Pilata and Victor Diaz. And from HBO Max Design, Tom Haskard, Martha Duarte Diaz, Ryan Cronin, Brett Krause, and John Northway. Producer, Toby Lawless. Producer for HBO Max is Aaron Kelly. Research producer, Jesse Holland. Associate producer, Tessa Bartholomew. Associate producer, Chris Stiff. Production manager, Kevin Lynn. Studio coordinator, Elijah Matias. Director of photography, Keith Gresham. First assistant camera and camera operator, Chris Piper. Gaffer, Arthur Garcia. Key grip, Jake Reeder. Sound mixer, Josh Falcon. Sound mixer, Darren Bowling. Post-production supervisor, Mariana Cristostomo. Lead editor, Jesse Holland. Editor, Louis Sinibaldi. Assistant editor, Mark Alcacid. Hair and makeup artist, Kendall Shannon. Director of Creative Development and Social Strategy, Lenore Castro. Senior Coordinator, Creative Development and Social Strategy, Sharif Bakari. Production Assistant, Antonio Cavallo.
And then you came up with this idea, and I remember I went to the prop guy, and I'm like, we need to get something to clamp the clamp on his penis.
And
That's
what did
happened.
you use?
Penis clamp. No,
Yeah, that's what it is.
we just
Professional
made a
penis clamp.
block, and we shaped it into a penis. And then it was, how big is the penis?
Not that big. 'Cause
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
As we find later in the series, his nickname was Thimble.
That's
Don't
right.
jump ahead. That is a
Is that a spoiler?
I said spoilers, so it's all good.
Thimble.
Thimble.